week 17. You need 208 yards to break Eric Dickerson's single season rushing record, which is remarkable to consider. A year earlier, you have potentially a career-ending injury. A year later, you could have the best running back, or the best season of any running back in history. How confident were you at that point, week 17, that you were going to break it?
I was very confident. I was, but going into that game, I told myself that the record doesn't matter. We needed that game.
Oh, come on. I know.
Seriously.
You wanted that record
I
bad,
wanted it.
though.
I'm not going to sit here and say I didn't want it, because I did. Trust me, I want it, and I still want it to this day,
right.
and I'm going to get it. But at that moment, it wasn't, for me, it wasn't about me at the time, because that particular game, we needed that game to clinch, a playoff berth. We lost that game and I broke his record. It really didn't mean anything. A great individual accomplishment, but the team is going home. So I remember going into that game and telling myself to go out there and play. And if it's meant to happen, then it'll happen. So I'm a big believer in that. If something's meant to happen, it'll happen. So that's how I was able to focus on helping my team and not focusing on trying to break Eric Dickerson's record.
You're tied at 34 in the fourth quarter. You have a 26-yard run. What are you thinking at that point?
I'm thinking get to the end zone. Get to the end zone. I didn't know where I was as far as yardage or anything like that, but I was thinking getting to the end zone. Now, hindsight, when I look back and I see that I was a couple yards short, it's like, man, I should have cut this way. I should have cut that way. You know what I'm saying? But it all worked out. We won the game.
You said you still, really want the record. Mm-hmm. What motivates you now?
Yeah, just to be the best, just to be the best of what I do. And along with that, break records as well, so that's a record. Eric Dickerson was a guy that I looked up to. I love his running style. People compared me to him, being from East Texas and things like that. So to break one of his records that has stood for so long, that would be a great accomplishment. So just my motivation on wanting to be the best to ever do it, and breaking records during that process is the only thing that keeps me motivated to get it.
What are your personal goals?
Well, first and foremost, winning a championship. Starting off with one, then, guys willing to have an opportunity to win multiple championships. And then.
Do you find you want a championship more now as time passes with you being in the league?
Yeah, definitely. Because going into my 10th season and seeing, looking back to 2009 NFC Championship game, and just knowing after that game, even though we lost, like, okay, we'll be back next year, or we'll be back the year after that, and we haven't been back to the NFC Championship game since, so it makes you realize that, it goes fast. You have to make sure that you live in that moment and take advantage of it. So here I am going into year 10, and I'm just more eager as I have ever been to win a championship, not only for me but for my coaches as well, the players that's been there a long time in the city, in the state of Minnesota. Of course, being a Hall of Fame player, being voted into the Hall of Fame.
That's a foregone conclusion now.
It's still a lot of work for me to do, so.
Well, right, because you just don't want to be a Hall of Fame player. You want to be the best ever.
Exactly.
Right.
So that's why I say it's still a lot of work for me to do. Of course, Emmitt Smith record is up there, 18, whatever it is, and that's something that that milestone, I want to reach that one and surpass it as well.